So today we are finishing up the rendered walls, putting on the top 2 layers of top coat to finish off these walls. I have the privilege of working with Alessio and Battista, which Battista is just an absolute maestro when it comes to rendering walls. So I'm hoping today to learn a lot.
Come si chiama questo? Prima mano o...
No, un rasante,
rasante.
perché se tu metti sullo stabilitore sulla matta subito
Sì.
si inchioda lì, non riesci a lavorare.
Sì.
Invece tu metti su questo rasante qua, la matta non tira più così forte,
Okay.
meno, allora riesci a lavorare la stabilitura, se no. Pezzettini piccolini, dove c'è poco, allora metti sulla stabilitura e finisci via. Ma pareti così grandi non riesci più a...
Prima rasante e dopo stabilitore. Ok, ho capito.
So I've been learning from Battista along the way, and I learned that when I did the final top coat in the utility room, the reason I struggled so much is that I skipped a step. There's 2 different layers, and I'm gonna have to look up the English translation later, but the first coat is the rasante, and then the second coat is the stabilatura. Well, I skipped the rasante and I went straight for the stabilatura, and while that made no difference for the actual finished look of the wall, it did make applying it a lot more difficult, so today is going a lot smoother. No pun intended. Well, there we go. That is one room with walls completely finished and ready for paint, of course. And you kind of come in close and look. The lines are all so crisp, top to bottom, every single corner. Everything is looking super, super sharp. So between the stonework and the pointing being finished, and now these rendered walls being finished and ready for paint, we basically have a room that is just about finished. Of course, we have to touch up the electrical, install the outlets and all of that, and do a lot of cleaning and touch-up work, and then, of course, install the tile, but we are getting close. Well, good morning to a very hot and sweaty day 2 of finishing off this rendering. We are already well into day 2, working on all of the fine details around the tops of all of the walls. Yesterday we finished all of the full walls in every single room, but today we're starting to work on all of these fine little details, kind of trimming out the tops of any of the walls. As a reminder, a couple of the rooms we rendered towards the top edge to cover up any of the ugly concrete and weird brickwork that was done previously, so now it all kind of looks nice and blended together. But all of this detail work and tying into the old stonework and kind of curving along, that does take a little bit of time and finesse. So if you can remember way back to day 1 of rebuilding this stone house, back when we were building that outdoor kitchen, we started using a Bradey battery. And from that point until today, the vast majority of all the power used to power this rebuild has come from that little battery and a solar panel. And that right there is saying a lot to me, because we power all of our tools, from chop saws or jackhammers or mixing cement, all from this small little battery. But today's really exciting because we are upgrading our system not just to power the renovation, but to power the entire house. Today we're getting ready to install the AC300 system along with several B300K batteries. So with the AC300 you have 6 different AC outlets, as well as a DC output with USB-A and USB-C, as well as 12 and 24 volt output. So I've set the system up temporarily here in the office for us to use while we're renovating, but eventually it'll live in the utility room connected to the house itself. We're just running a little bit behind with our electrical plan, getting all of the wires finally hooked up, but these batteries will be connected both to the house as well as to the grid. Now in our specific situation with this house, we should be able to power our entire house for 5 to 7 days, assuming there's no sun at all. But considering the system accepts a maximum of 2,400 watts of solar input, I really don't see us ever running out of power and using the grid, but we will have that as a backup just to be safe. And what I love about the system is how well it works in an off-grid and on-grid environment, because this battery setup will allow you to save money on your utility bill through peak load shifting. Basically, there's a smart energy management system built into the system that allows you to charge the battery when prices are low, and then automatically switches off-grid and uses the power stored in the battery when energy prices are high. In the event of a power outage, the system will kick on in 20 milliseconds, so you'll barely notice the lights flicker, and the system can output 3,000 watts to power your large appliances. The system is expandable up to over 11 kilowatts. There's 7 different ways to recharge it, and using dual charging, you can get up to 5,400 watts of charging capability. So while I'm currently talking about a system that's meant as a whole house battery backup system, Bluetti has a huge range of battery products, including smaller batteries as well, that are perfect for camping trips, RV trips, or just a general battery to use around the house. And right now with Black Friday savings, you can get up to 52% off batteries, which makes it the best time of year to be looking at these setups. And I think some of Bluetti's smaller batteries would be a great gift, especially right now at a great price with Black Friday. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. But thank you so much to Bluetti for sponsoring today's video. Look at this guy. He's got like a little, this little rover unit. It's cute, right? Come on, that's cute.
Così? Ja, non è?
Pesa.
Pesa.
Ok, va bene?
Tutto bene.
Ok, vai.
Piano.
This little guy weighs over 400 pounds, and his cart was cute and nice, but it wasn't capable of getting up this hill. So we've had to use it to transfer it to my motocarriola, and then we'll transfer it back to his cart, and that's really the only way to get it inside because it weighs simply too much to move.
Muscoli! Dove sono I muscoli? Muscoli, Bradey!
Non c'è.
Ah! Ah, Alessio, ciao! Se ci sta te l'artista che?
Lui è il maestro fantastico.
Maestro lui, L'avevi visto ancora?
Molto bene. Grazie.
Sui guanti. Allora, vuoi scoperchiarla?
Ok.
Voilà,
Molto bene.
qua vita,
Ok?
avvitatore,
Sì, a posto.
ok?
Bellissimo. Grazie mille.
Prego, grazie a te.
weighs 190 kilos, which is about 420 pounds, which means I wish we would have finished the area where we're placing it inside the fireplace before he left, because now we'll have to lift that up by hand. But yes, we are putting in a modern day enclosed fireplace into this open firebox because, one, it's required. It's required by law. I fought against it. That was the one thing that I really fought against, trying to keep the open flame. But eventually, a lot of you in the comments convinced me otherwise, because of all of the smoke, because of the cold draft coming down the chimney, because of it just being inefficient. And then I saw this guy locally and I just fell in love with it. It's a brilliant fireplace and matches the existing aesthetic really well. So all that's left is to finish up a little bit of work on the inside, place that, and hook it up to the chimney pipe. Not exactly fun work working on the inside of this fireplace here. Very thankful for Batista. Grazie, Batista. He's doing beautiful work. We're rendering the inside of that as well as closing it up. Now that we've added that tube on the inside, we can completely enclose that area with bricks to keep any of the previous nastiness out from the house. But this is not a fun job being up inside of there. I think I've done a terrible job filming today, the last few days, but we did manage to finish the inside of the fireplace, so I'll catch you up and show you that now. This fireplace is looking really, really nice. We rendered it the same color as the walls here, and obviously we can paint these any color later on, but we've done two things. One, we've finished all of the render work, and then we've begun to close in there, and obviously it's really dark, hard to see, but this will be closed off completely very soon so that none of the nastiness from up in the chimney will ever come down into the house. And then we've closed in the pre-existing fire pit that was here. We've added an air vent that brings in air from the outside in order to keep the fireplace burning well. And then you can see the beginnings of our two vents here that will help recirculate air. into the room behind this fireplace. And then I know the lighting is terrible right now, but if you can just imagine this beautiful fireplace sitting right inside there, it will be just stunning. Well, that's it for this video. I'm sorry that it was a little bit of what I'm assuming is going to be a shorter video than usual, as I didn't do a great job filming. I think the effects of just, pushing a little bit too hard on this renovation are catching up on me. I can kind of feel the effects of burnout. So we are headed out on a little bit of vacation, some time off. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.